So, hello, good day, and now I will tell you some information about the JavaScript that I combined in this presentation. My name is Yehor Draco. Mm, At first, I would tell you some information about programming. Programming is not just a way to make a lot of money and not even completely mental work. This is an opportunity to understand what the world consists of, decompose it into small particles and then resemble guided by its own logic and knowledge. Programming languages are just a tool with the help and which a person makes rule in created system. The internet represents a ton of opportunities for which bright and interpreting minds seize upon. Of course, web development also has its own tools for translation ideas into reality. One of them is the JavaScript programming language, which will be discussed in my presentation. Many people, even those who have nothing to do with IT, have heard the word Java, a revolutionary platform-independent language in which application for mobile system and actively written. It was developed by a promising company Sun, which then went under the wing of Oracle, but neither company has any relation to JavaScript. Sun only required permissions to use part of the name. Surprisingly, JavaScript does not belong to any company at all. Although many people confuse Java and JavaScript, this should immediately be explained. First of all, Java is an object-oriented programming language and JavaScript is an object-oriented scripting language. Uh, Using Java application are created that run on a virtual machine or in browsers, and JavaScript runs only in browsers. Why do I need JavaScript? JavaScript is a universal programming language, supports object-oriented, imperative and functional styles. The JavaScript programming language was invented specifically in order to create interactive sites. Such sites respond to your actions, like when you click on the heart, upload new posts to the feed when you get to the end of the page, show alerts for new messages or letter. This is what JavaScript is needed for. Today is one of the most popular programming language, so it will come in handy for every web developer. Typically, JavaScript is used as an embedded language for programmatically accessions applications object. It is most widely used in browsers as a scripting language to give interactively to web pages. The main the main architectural features dynamic typing, weak T typing, automatic memory management, prototype programming functions as object of the first class. JavaScript was influenced by many languages. The goal was to make the language look like Java. JavaScript is not spoken by any company or organization, which distinguishes it from a number of programming languages used in web development. And now some story. Uh, the Mosaic web browser was released in 1993 as the first browser with a graphical user interface accessible to non-technical people. It played a prominent role in the rapid growth of the nascent World Wide Web. The lead developers of Mosaic then founded the Netscape Corporation, which released a more polished browsers, Netscape Navigator, in 1994. Navigator quickly became the most used browser. During these formative years of the web pages could only be static, lacking the capability for dynamic behavior after the page was loaded in the browser. There was a desire in the burgeoning web development scene to remove these limitations, so in 1995 Netscape decided to add a scripting language to Navigator. They pursued two routes to achieve this: collaboration with Sun Microsystems to embed the Java programming languages, while also hiring Brandon Each to embed the Shimi language. Netscape management soon decided that the best option was for each to devise a new language with syntax similar to Java and less like Shim, or other extant scripting languages. Although a new language and its interpreter implementation were officially called LiveScript when first shipped as part of a Navigator release in September 1995. The name was changed to JavaScript 3 months later. The choice of the JavaScript name has caused confusion, sometimes given the impressions that is the spin-off Java. Since Java was the hot and new programming language at the time, this has been characterized as a marketing ploy by Netscape to give its own new language cachet. The name JavaScript is a registered trademark of Oracle Corporation in the United States. And when you're writing web application, JavaScript programming is most commonly used. If you briefly list the key features of the language, then you should highlight the following. Object orientation. Program execution is interacted of the object. Converting data types is carried out automatically. Functions are object of the base class. These features make JavaScript look like many functions programming language, such as Lisp and Haskell. Automatic memory cleaning, the so-called garbage collecting, makes JavaScript look like C or Java. If we talk about the essence of using JavaScript, this language allows you to revive the stationary page of sites using code that can be run for execution. That is, you can draw an analogy with cartoons where HTML and CSS are the traced character. And if we talk about JavaScript syntax, then it has the following features. Register is important, and functions with the names functions and functions are completely different. After operators, it is necessary to put a semicolon. Built-in object and operations. Spaces are not taken into account. Scope of application. In order to understand why JavaScript is needed and how much you need to learn it, we should highlight some areas in which this programming language is used. Web application development. Do you want to install a simple counter organizer, the transfer of data between forms, or place a game on your site? Then JavaScript will act as a loyal assistant in this matter. Active perceptions in Ajax. This significantly accelerate the work of applications by exchanging data with the server in the background mode. Operation system. Perhaps someone did not know, but Windows, Linux, and Mac have their own browsers computations, the lion's share of the code of which is written in JavaScript. Mobile application and field of study. Any programmatic specialty at the university includes the study of JavaScript in one volume or another. This is due to the fact that the language was originally developed for not very strong programmers. JavaScript lessons are logically woven into the basic HTML course, so mastering is simple enough. Advantages and disadvantages. You should not think that JavaScript is a panacea for all problems, and every programmer uses this language with a smile on his face. Everything in this world has its positive and negative sides. For starter, note that follows. The need to ensure cross-browsing compatibility. Since JavaScript acts as an internet technology, you have to put up with the rules that the World Wide Web sets. The code should run correctly and all or the least the most popular browsers. The system of inheritance in the language causes difficulties in understanding what is happening. JavaScript implements prototype-based inheritance. People who have studied other object-oriented programming languages are accustomed accustomed to the familiar the set classes inherits the parents class, but in JavaScript objects do these things directly, and this does not fit into the head. There is no standard library. JavaScript does not provide any capabilities for working with files, input, output streams, and other useful things. Syntax generally makes it difficult to understand. The beauty of the code is clearly not a hint of JavaScript, but the main rule of programmers is observed. Does it work? Don't touch. Now it is worth noting some advantages. JavaScript provides a large number of opportunities to solve a wide variety of tasks. The flexibility of the language allows you to use many programming patterns for specific conditions. An ingenious mind will enjoy. The popularity of JavaScript opens up a considerable number of ready-made libraries for the programmer, which can significantly simplify code writing and level out syntax imperfections. Application in many areas, the extensive JavaScript features give programmers a chance to try themselves as a developer of a wide variety of applications, and this, of course, fuels interest of professional activities. Do not pay attention to the facts that there are more minuses than pluses. JavaScript is firmly entrenched in its place, and not criticism of it at the moment will not knock it